Well, good noon on this Thursday from Florida. And yes, the sun is shining again, so we can call it, well, we can always call it a glorious day. I am happy to be here. We have one, and of course, we have Sarah, and we have one, and we have Grant from Louisiana with us as guests. And I'm hoping for another guest from Finland. He said he would be here. He is an awesome musician, and when he comes on, I would love to share, at least give a link to his video, his music video, because I think it's well worth it. This is funny, Grant. You show all kinds of stuff on your on your video, but not you. A little introduction about myself. I am started 10, 11 years ago now as a health coach. Didn't do much with it because we were taught that all kinds of different diets, we learned about all kinds of different diets, and we have to just, when we had a client to see what diet would fit them, well, boy, did we find out that that is absolutely not the way it can ever work. So I was very happy to be introduced to Dr. Morse, who showed us a lot of truth with what food is doing to your body and how your body works. And when I met around, I already known Charlie and Colleen, who were on the fruit journey. So everything started to fit together. And once I met Dr. Morse, I was so happy with it to see my own progress, that I started studying with him, and I became a level 1 and a level 2 and counselor or detox specialist and iridologist. And it's been a very interesting journey. I have also studied essential oils, so I'm officially an essential oil coach. I haven't done as much with it because I do feel, and that is something that I did learn from Dr. Morse, that diet always comes first. It's not the herbs, it's the diet. It's not the essential oils and a shitty diet. You need to clean up your diet. That is the most important thing that you can do for yourself. And we have people here who also love the fruit journey. And of course, it's not just about fruit. I mean, there are other things to eat too, the soft leafy greens. But it is an exciting journey, and I know Sarah has been on that path for quite some time also. And we learn more about fasting, and so that is pretty much my background, and I came to this because of my own health. That I was just searching for what could work to better it, and pharmaceuticals have never been an option for me. So that was out the door, and I don't need doctors to tell me that I was a walking time bomb and I could die any minute. And I heard that 20 years ago. I'm still here. So yeah, it is like what I said, it actually is an amazing journey. There are ups and downs. We all experience the ups and downs. It's not going always the way you want it to go, but we keep moving forward and we keep learning more, and definitely learning more about ourselves. I think that is very, very important. And have the confidence in yourself that you stop listening to all the other BS that is flowing around the internet. So,
yep. Remember, if it's not simple, it's probably not the way to go in the first place. God's plan is pretty simple for us all, and it's all been laid out for us. And the fact that we are all here together is we've heard the call of some sort or another, and we've seen the light, and it's kind of drawn us all together.
It is. And when I now look back on all the things that I have experienced, physically, mentally, and always I can see the signs. It's like, yeah, but I was put on this path by God for a reason. And I love it. I love it even more than, even with all the you could call it bad things, but it's all been lessons to us.
Oh, yeah.
it was all necessary.
Yes, it was. I've said it a million times. It's hard to see the whole picture when you're in the middle of it still. And then as time goes by, you can kind of step back and see how all those pieces went together to make that picture. But our life is like a tapestry and it's endless. So when you can step back and see portions and parts of it or your past, and you can see why you had to go through that or what that person really did or how they helped you or what you learned from them. Even if it was a negative interaction with them, you still learned something from that person or that experience or that place or whatever. You just have to take that gnosis and bring it within and meditate on it, learn from it, and grow from it. But yeah, it's quite beautiful to look back and see. My husband and I were actually talking about that the other day. We couldn't understand, because we were still in a state of understanding back then, why certain things had to happen in our lives. But we can see why they had to happen then, even though they were hard. And this all pertains with the military. They were hard and we had no other choices or anything like that. But we see why they had to happen so that our lives could be the way they are now.
Yeah, and I come to realize that even with whatever happens, I'm still happy. It's not that I get depressed or something, because we now know there's always a message in it somewhere. We have to go through this for a reason. And that makes it, for me, it makes it easier.
Yep, it does. And to me, during those times, it was like, that was seeing God's work. That was how I know when God's really working through us or something. You actually really see that door open, or it's just unexplainable how it really happens. And you just have to kind of go with it. But sometimes the decisions are not easy, but I always just tell myself, okay, if this is where I need to be right now to be able to do my best work and shine my light the brightest, then this is where I am. I'm with you, and I'm having that faith. And believe me, it's very hard, especially when you have a lot of people relying on you, animals relying on you, and you're just kind of walking through like, this is where I have to be right now, and this is where I am.
I was reading some the questions instead of paying attention. Never a good thing. Never a good thing to do.
No, it's fine. It's just, being where you are and trusting the process and trusting the plan. That could be just with your life, that could be with your health. But as we've talked before too, everything, whether it be your mental status, your work life, your home life, everything pertains to your health.
It is, and this is actually where Katie's question came in that she sent to me. Knowing that the lights in our home, place of work, on our cell phones, televisions, etc., are bad for us, what can we do to protect ourselves? Now, my most simple answer was turn it all off.
Maybe don't get me started. I mean, that'll start me on my anxiety.
Oh gosh.
Turn it all off.
Yeah. I have my cell phone with me 24/7. Only when I sleep and I'm home alone, I want my phone next to me, but I have it on airplane mode. If it does anything, I don't know. But then at least it doesn't have the Wi-Fi on. So that wouldn't work. During the day, my house and my office are pretty dark. So yes, I have lights on. And what is it? It's all LED lights. And the crazy thing is that even because we got new fans here in the house after we bought it, they have integrated LED lights. You cannot even change anything. And so I try to keep them off as much as possible. I have in my other lamps, I have the old-fashioned bulbs in it. Television, I kicked that out of the house many years ago. I stopped watching 10 years ago, and I had it picked up by the trash guys probably 6 years ago, because I didn't even want to have it in the house. But that is a choice, because there are, like Charlie is sharing so many amazing movies, and how can I watch them? Yeah, on my laptop. Does that have radiation again? Yes, of course. So we constantly in it. How can we prevent any damage from it? It's going outside, do grounding, eating right, being in a higher frequency. And I know there are a lot of what do you call that, the EMF boxes that you can put around your stuff. I haven't done that. I do have a little protector in my phone. I don't even know how much it works. I have not, honestly, I have not been away from my phone in the last 5-6 years.
Mine's with me all the time. I have a computer, and a phone, an iPad, and my work computer that are with me all the time. And my son has, his iPad, his computer, and my husband always has his phone too. I mean, it's weird how we can't live without them now too, but it's how we choose to use them as well. We are communicating and using them in good ways to try to get word out. The internet's kind of like a double-edged sword. You can be like a glutton with it, or you can use it for good reasons of reaching people we would have never reached before. But you can only do the best with what you have available to you. We have no LED lights, and I refuse them, even when they tried to give them to us for free. I don't like it. They make me feel sick in the first place, but I don't like the kind of light they put off. Even when someone says, no, it's like a soft light. No, it's not. I can see it. I'm very hyper aware to it, and I don't like it. So I refuse it all. And I just try to buy any of the old bulbs I can find, even if you have to go to the flea market or something like that. I just try to scout those out as much as I can. Fortunately, we don't change a lot of light bulbs in our house for some reason. And even those LED ones, I've seen people, they're already replacing them, and they're supposed to have like a 10-year lifespan on them or something. And they're already replacing them. So I'm thinking, do you have to keep your receipts for light bulbs now so you can return them? So I just scout out the old ones, and maybe it's our frequencies here. I have no idea, but our lights always, we're not changing light bulbs very often in the first place. I would do what Toni said, go outside, get some grounding, try to stay in as much natural light as you can. In the evening, just turn on what you have to turn on. And we can only do with what we have available to us, and God understands where we are. So that's all we can do.
Yeah, it's like Katie said. I was thinking we are going back to candlelight. I was thinking about that too.
Candlelight's not bad, not at all.
No.
Careful the candle you use. But
yeah.
Make your own. It's always a fun. I wanted to ask if you would speak to onions. There's a big thing going around about onion water, people eating an onion every day, a slice of an onion. It just like everything's flooded with onion now. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, they figured out something else. I was thinking, the funny thing is that you bring up onions, because this morning I was thinking about a close friend of mine has the bad cold and stuffy nose, and I was thinking, well, cut an onion open, put it on your nightstand, and it keeps your nose open so you can breathe. And it does work. But on the other hand, well, they don't like the onion smell in the house, so it probably wouldn't be a go. But onions are high in sulfur, and we don't want that stuff in our body. So it's a no. It's like, I am amazed what they come up with. It's always something.
Yep. He says, then you smell like onion.
Yeah, you probably would. It's the same as with garlic. Eat a lot of garlic, you don't smell it, but others will smell it on you. That means that your body tries to get rid of it, and it comes out of all your pores. I think it's pretty much the same with onions. The funny thing is, it would actually be kind of the way you measure how your body is doing with it is how you smell. Is your poop smelling? Is it all of a sudden smelling all of onion? It's like, yeah, that's not the way it's supposed to smell. If you eat fruit, you don't have any odor.
I swear you don't. Like, you just don't either. And my nose works so good. And so like I can smell that too, if anything. And literally your poop does not stink when you're on fruit.
No.
Neither does your body, neither does your breath. Your tartar's gone. I mean, it's just amazing. Back to the onions though, it is like everyone's just looking for that pill, that quick fix. What can I still do to continue on what I'm currently eating, but just to get rid of this mucus out of my body? The answer to all of that is there is nothing. You have to allow your body to do it. And the fruit is the one thing that is so easy for your body to digest that it kind of gets out of the way and allows your body to do what it was made to do. It's always in a constant state of healing.
Yeah, your body is healing 24/7, but if you keep putting junk in, then that's where the energy goes. And, people like to make everything complicated, but it is as easy as that,
Mm-hmm.
It is keep putting junk in and all the toxins, and your body has to work to get all the toxins out because it wants to have you healthy. It's not set up to make you sick. It's set up. Your whole system is designed to keep you healthy. So that is why you get in a state of detoxing. Mm-hmm. And when you have all this mucus forming food, and I notice that when I eat certain foods, and that can even be, and that is the least, how do you say that? The least bad of all the grains is millet. If I have millet bread with, for instance, what is it? Guacamole, avocado on it. Oh, that is high fat, but I have right away, I feel the mucus forming. It's not the mucus that comes out of my body as a detoxing. No, it is creating the mucus.
Mm-hmm. It's a post-nasal drip. It's the liquid in the ears you feel, just all that stuff. A lot of us, like, it's still around my voice box, just even to this day. And so I have no idea how much time that's going to take for all of that to get out of my body. But I keep moving forward because I feel better on this lifestyle. There's no option of actually going back. And if I eat certain stuff to this day, I'll be almost instantly sick on them now at this point. I can feel the fat. I can feel the grease. I can feel everything. And it makes me feel nauseous now. I can't do it. Even as I'm as sensitive where I can't even eat an avocado.
Yeah, I got to that point.
Hurts my stomach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then we have people who say, yeah, I have pain in my stomach. What can I do? And I'm like, stop eating. What caused it?
Mm-hmm.
It is that easy. But we have been brainwashed, and there is treatment for everything.
And there's addiction too. I mean, it is addictive, very addictive. We talked to that, the last show or the one prior, especially like cheese. It gives you like an opioid effect. I think ice cream kind of does the same thing, like the casein in it or whatnot. It's supposed to draw us to the mother's breast milk. And they have that's also in the milk or the ice cream. I forget off the top of my head, but yeah, they're addicting. We are addicted to it.
It is. It's not only just taste, but
I saw another question too about cramps, leg cramps, just cramps throughout the body, like muscle cramps. Is that just from dehydration, or could that be something else?
It's mostly dehydration.
Okay.
And it can be your parathyroid, weak parathyroid. But then there you can ask about, okay, what is the treatment? The treatment is always change your diet. Mm-hmm. And make sure that you're well hydrated. If I don't drink enough water, absolutely, I'm twice at night up with with cramps in my calves. If I drink enough, if I have enough, if I'm hydrated well, no problem whatsoever.
Okay. That's what I was thinking, but you always hear, at least I used to, was you need potassium. You should eat a banana if you have leg cramps. It's never been just dehydration. Now, this was nothing I learned from Dr. Morse, but I've also not really come across any of the videos where he's talking specifically to cramps and muscle cramps. Not
Well,
menstrual cramps, but just straight muscle cramp like a Charlie horse.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's for me and for many others who had it, if I say, you know, make sure that you're well hydrated and drink that water, you know. I know there are many people, even Dr. Morse counselors and even fruitarians who say, no, you don't need the water. The water is not going into your cells. No, it is not. The fruit will be, but you still need the water to get the toxins out of the body. And yeah.
Keep the pipes well lubed up.
That's a good
Yeah.
Slide right through them.
Yeah. Y'all talking about that, Sarah and Toni. From when I used someone that would work with me, and for an emergency, he would just fix him a small glass of water with a couple packs of salt in it.
No,
If you know what I'm talking about, as far as for no, I'm saying for emergency cases, because you don't have time to eat fruit when you're on the job, you know. And he wasn't eating fruit. This was somebody that was, you know, meat eating and everything. But I noticed how salt in within 10, 20 minutes, it was gone. He was good to go.
Okay.
You know, but and when I remember when we was younger, in the hot summer, and you would get kind of weak and that, we used to take a pellet salt, you know, like you put, you know, pellet salt, and we just suck, I'd suck on it for just a few seconds, and then the energy would pop back up. I wouldn't recommend it for all day kind of treatment, but it definitely did work. I mean, from experience, I've seen it too many times. So, you know, for emergency situations, it is good to get you back up, but you're still not solving the problem of why you're dehydrating. So that just bringing that up as a temporary.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. We have to take into account that we now know that salt is actually toxic, and if you do it every day, because of, you know, what you mentioned, you work outside, you don't have what you need with you. Yeah, I can see that, but we have to go about that whole lifestyle change and what direction we are going. And then it would be as little salt as possible, and just make sure that you always have enough water with you. And it is so easy to bring fruit with you. I mean, any packaged food that you would buy, I mean, if you have it out in the heat, it spoils. But if you have bananas and apples and you're on the road or you're going to your work, it doesn't spoil that day. I mean, it's always there for you to eat. So that would always be the best.
I hear you, Grant. It is really hard, especially when you got all the guys on the job side, and guys and women on the job sites, where they're all about the meat and eating the meat and stuff like that too. And it is very hard to change them. My whole family's that way. But what we do, what makes it very convenient, because we are gone all day out in the field, and we bring our orange juice with us, and that is the easiest thing to bring. But trying to tell some person who's been a meat eater their whole life, like, nope, don't pack your lunch, just bring out 64 ounces of orange juice, you're good to go all day, they'll be freaking out. But yeah, I mean, I've even heard the salt thing too, like in parts where people have been, they're called heat casualties, and you can even do that where they put they call it a silver bullet, where they put the saline and they shoot it right up into your rectum to bring you back, all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's a big difference between, you know, life-saving stuff and just a transition. But yeah, a lot of people can be very hard-headed, as we all know. But yeah, the orange juice is what has been the best for us, and I've even convinced my husband to do it. So if you can convince anyone, that orange juice is amazing. Fresh squeezed orange juice gets us through the whole entire day in the hot summer.
Well, it's a good thing that oranges are getting back into season, because I was making some calculations. We had bought a whole bunch of organic. We finally saw organic oranges again, was actually at Whole Foods in Tampa. And one bag of oranges, it had 7 in there, was $7 or $8. Those 6 of those oranges gave me 1/3 of a liter, so 1/3 actually of a quart. So I would need 18, at least 18 oranges for 1 liter. And we were 2 of us, so that would be 2 liters of orange juice. We calculated it would come out to close to $50 a day.
Yeah. We spend $90. Actually, we spend $45 per person per day. I'm sorry. Gosh. We spend $45 per person per week in my family on just oranges.
That's doable.
But we go to a place that is like a wholesale fruit area. We have one of those in our area. Try looking up places that distribute fruit to some of the, not like a Whole Foods or a Walmart, not that kind of distribution place, but like your little mom and pop places or restaurants, those kind of places. See if you have those in your area, because we buy them at wholesale. They are cash only, but still much cheaper.
And do they have a website, or is it?
No, this place has been around since the early 1900s, and they're just kind of old school.
Oh.
And they just you walk in, it's like this old abandoned building, and they have all these places where you can pull up, and it's just giant refrigerators, and you just walk through them, pick out what you need, and go up. They tell you how much it is. Everything's in crates, and then you go from there. So it's like you're shopping where the restaurant shops.
Interesting. That's very good. Mm-hmm. There is now on Facebook, there is a group, and that is everybody who grows fruit can share it there if they have something to sell. So it is a fruit sharing group. I think if you would type that in, you would probably find it, and they are all over. And that is people who have, who grow their own fruit and have extra to sell. Katie, you were asking about light maple syrup and dark maple syrup nutritionally. I don't know. Do you know, Sarah?
I think that's no, I don't.
I thought it was always the light one was diluted more, so it was because it goes through a system, and the first one is really dark, so that would be the best one. The dark amber, and then they run it through the system again. It gets lighter and lighter and cheaper and cheaper.
Yep. And that was a question from Sue, actually. It was right below.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know the difference either. I know like the grade A and whatnot, but yeah, I would assume it's the difference in the processing times. Keep in mind, maple syrup is very processed, but out of all the processed foods, our body seems to take that sugar in pretty well.
Yeah, I kind of like the taste.
Yeah, it is good. Makes everything a little sweeter.
Yeah, I like it in my my lemon water.
I'm gonna have to try that because I have trouble getting water down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
And what
happens? I'm not a water drinker. Everything has to be sweet for me.
Oh,
I know.
Isn't that an addiction then?
It is. It is.
Okay, now one shared something with me. It is about the energy enhancement system. And it's called the EE system. It generates multiple bioactive life-enhancing energy fields, including scalar waves, which can allow cell regeneration, improve circulation and immune function, reduce inflammation, provide relief from pain, detoxify the body, elevate moods, and assist in balancing right-left brain cell balance for optimal meditation and sleep states, increasing cell membrane potential, mitochondrial and stem cell activity, and energy levels for optimum function. And this stunning bioscalar photonic fusion technology from Sandra Rose Michael. It's a whole story. It's a flyer. It's I can share. No, I cannot share. Jay, can you share that link here? Because I have it only on my phone, not on my computer. Share the link to the flyer that you sent me this morning in text. It is like the idea of the med beds, because there's a lot of talk about the med beds. Now, scalar energy has been a lot around for a long time. Scalar energy can actually be used for good, but also for bad. Of course, this lady is not using it for bad, but for good. I worked with a gentleman, this is more than 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, and he did distant scalar healing. And because I had a very active cat rescue at that time, and when my cats were sick, then of course he was there to help me. Personally, I have not ever noticed any difference with anything, and not with my own health issues. I found that there are options to go there for healing. It's about 140, 150 miles away from here, so I'm definitely going to figure out when I can do that, just to know exactly what it is and what the results are. Because, you can talk about it, but unless you have experienced it yourself, there's nothing to say about it, really. It can be all a beautiful story, but we have to experience the results ourselves. So I will probably do that anywhere, see if I can get at least one appointment in the next month. So we'll see how that goes. But it is very interesting. I am also working. I got the system to work with energy healing, and it's called the Genius. It's to me, it was so complicated that I was like, okay, I'll learn about that later. But I have been planning this from almost a year now. I've had the system. And I really do believe I should do something with it to even help people more, because we know that energy healing, it's all about energy, and that it can absolutely work. And I see that as a good addition to what we do with our food. The only thing that I am kind of reluctant, and maybe that is why I haven't really been diving into it and focus on it, is because it is the diet that always comes first. And that is what I'm trying to get out. It's not that it's like, okay, we go to a session here and we can do 10 sessions and then we don't have to change our diet. We can keep eating what we want to eat, do what we want to do. And that's just not the way it can work. So it's what do you think about it, Sarah?
I think energy work is very important, and I do it. I do it so much now that it's kind of second nature for me. I remember in the very beginning, it was like a feeling of, okay, this isn't working, but I just wasn't honed in or tuned into it, or knowing how to channel what I call God's energy instead of pushing my own energy out to that other person or animal. But no, I think energy work is very important. And I think we're all capable of doing it ourselves too. I would definitely be interested in seeing more about that. When I think about energy, though, I think about like Reiki and just expanding your own energy field to touch others. And that includes people, animals, and even nature around you. So I think that's all very fascinating.
But for me, it was more of the that people think that can be the quick fix.
No.
That can be the the magic pill that everyone wants. And believe me, if there was a magic pill, I would be right there.
We
But
all would be.
it would, but when you think logically, it doesn't make sense. We have messed up our bodies, and could a med vet, if they are around, could they be like, okay, you go there and the next day you're fine. But now you clean up your diet, because would it work on your whole mindset of what food is for you and what kind of food you want? And do you understand, the food that your body really needs? And it's the whole food thing. It's more about elimination than adding other things to it. And what you meant with onions, it's like, okay, now it is something that it is one thing that you now have to add like a treatment, and now you're going to be healed. And I'm sure many, many thousands of people will fall for it.
Yeah. Let me chase the onion water with some of my chocolate milk to get rid of the taste. That's probably some of the mindset, though, for real.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, Juan, I saw you coming on. Did you hear me asking you for that link that you sent me earlier this morning? Can you put that in the chat?
Oh, hi. Happy New Year, everybody. Yeah, well, I don't know. It was on my phone. The link
okay. So you have it on your phone too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna copy that link and send it to myself in email, and then I can probably add it to can I? Yeah, I
if
should
you
be.
have I
Copy.
don't know if you have an iPhone and like an Apple computer, or you have like an HP computer or a regular computer PC.
I have a PC.
Okay. I was gonna say,
but I already, I can send it to myself in email and then open up the email in on my computer. That works. So give me a second and you do the talking.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna do a New Year's resolution because I wasn't able to get my water fast going like I wanted to. So I've been eating, food and solids, and I've been eating some cooked, and I really want to come into this new year just on a fast. So yesterday I had a salad, and I'm going to today just stick with the fresh squeezed orange juice, which listening to your story, Toni, was I did the math also, because here we have a Trader Joe's that has a fresh squeezed orange juice that's unpasteurized. And I've been buying that, and I did the math, and it's way cheaper to buy theirs than for me to do all the peeling of the oranges and then run it through my juicer. And then I got to clean the juicer, and I don't get as much for the dollar amount when I can just buy it. So I'm going to be drinking the orange juice right up until the new year. And then on the new year, I'm going to start a water fast and then just take it from there.
But, how many ounces is that from Trader Joe's?
Trader Joe's, it's $5.79 for 52 ounces.
Okay.
So it's less than a half a gallon, but even still at $5.79, that's really a good price. It's the cheapest I've seen. And it's real unpasteurized.
So it's like $42 a week then.
Yeah, depending. I drink a lot of orange juice, but
well, what I have seen with Whole Foods and Trader Joe's is that the whole orange goes in. There's nothing is being cut up. The whole orange goes in. It's not. I don't know if Trader Joe's is organic. I know at Whole Foods it was not organic. And the first time I had it, it was kind of okay. It has an odd taste, but I had it twice after that, and then I realized I'm just drinking pesticides, because they're not washed off, and the whole orange is being squeezed. And to me, it has an odd taste, so I'm not going to get it again. And you have to be aware of that they do not use organic oranges, so you get the pesticides in.
Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah,
There is a funny taste. So
well, you say it already. You have a funny taste. It's not supposed to be a funny taste. We don't drink orange juice because, we want to drink orange juice. It has to taste good. Even Dr. Morse said that it has to taste sweet, and it doesn't. And the oranges, I had big navel oranges, and I use a citrus juicer. So I don't need to peel anything, and it's a $20-30 juicer. It lasts me usually 2 to 3 years, and then I have to buy a new one. But it works. I don't put it through regular juicers, and cleaning up is less than 1 minute. So you get a simple juicer like that. And actually, it is in the ebook that you have one. It's under the section of what I use in my kitchen. And that gives you the most juice. And it's easy to do. I just posted the link to that energy healing thing flyer. So I don't know if everybody can see it. I might as well put it at the top because the Zoom link is already known, and I don't think more people are coming in.
Did you watch the video, Toni?
I did not watch all of it yet.
Wow, the video is pretty impactful. That's what really.
Okay, I'll get you the video link too.
Toni, I have some good news. You were right. You cured my night sweats. Thank you.
Oh my!
You know what it was? It was the heat. You said that you like a cool room, and I like having a heater on in my little room.
Yeah.
Well, I said, okay, I'm gonna sleep in a cold room, and I've slept without a t-shirt on and everything, no sweats, and I'm like, oh, could it be that simple? Really? I felt so silly, just thinking that it was that simple. But thank you.
This is actually very funny that you didn't come up with that yourself.
No, I like it cold? Nice and warm. I'm me. I mean, look at me. I want warmth, right?
Does it even get cold where you live?
It did. It got down to freezing. It was freezing here. It was below 30. Yeah, wow. Very cold. Yeah.
That's so funny to hear that. For when people say that's cold, we're like, oh, 30. We'll take 30. Oh my gosh. I know when it finally got up to 34, I only had one coat on. I was like, yeah, we're having a heat wave today.
Yeah. Well, we acclimate, right?
So
definitely. Yeah. What was it I was going to bring up? I was curious about the LED lights. What is that, Sarah? I mean, we used to be all worried about the fluorescent lighting and whatnot. Then now it's LED, but these lights are artificial or something. Is it this not? Because I do have quite a few LED lights going on.
I mean, I don't know the health research behind them. I just know where, the conspiracy side of it goes. So I'm not going to touch on all that in this show. But the fluorescent lights too, they make me feel ill and sick as well. I don't know. We stick to the old, I don't want to say old fashioned. It's not like we have those Edison bulbs around, but they're just the regular, soft bulb lights that we have. And for the most part, we keep our house, I don't want to say our house is dark all the time, but we have lights on whatever room we're in. And, but yeah, that's it. Like we always have kind of like a soft light on, nothing like too bright or harsh. We drive by this one house in my neighborhood, and it's like, I don't know, the lights, like when supposed aliens come down and it's so bright, lights just beaming out. That's what their house looks like. And I tell my husband, I was like, I feel sick even driving by this house. I couldn't imagine being in there. But no, I don't know the health effects of the LED behind it. But yeah, I steer clear of them. Anything that's pushed. Anything that's really pushed, I'm very hesitant to really jump on that bandwagon. So,
well, it's kind of funny. the thing you're not wanting to touch on, I think, is kind of what I've heard, that there's technology inside of there that could be used for surveillance and stuff like that inside the LED. Yeah. But
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, anything that they are like going door to door and handing you stuff and really pushing it and saying this and that. I always like to wait, even like with stuff that has to do with my horses, anything new that comes out. I'm like, well, let me give it 10 years and then we'll kind of reconvene where we are with this. But I've been that way for forever. This is nothing new. I don't like when anything new comes out and they're really pushing everything for people to try. I like to be the one that kind of sits in the background and watches to see what happens first. So
yeah, but it has to do what happened actually with the old lights that we have, the incandescent lights in the Netherlands. They were not allowed anymore. All that you could get was the LEDs, and the same happened here for a while. You couldn't get any other light bulbs. Now, what it is that there's blue light in LED lights. And it seems to, or it's known to stimulate the production of melanopsin. That is a hormone in our eyes that promotes alertness. Natural daylight has plentiful blue light content, and it is thought that melanopsin helps us to regulate our circadian rhythms as the day breaks and exposure to natural daylight begins. When we have constantly artificial light, which is not natural to us, you're getting out of balance. And that is why they say that you have to wear these special glasses when you are on your laptop, for instance, so you not constantly have that light.
Yeah, that blue blocker.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I do have that, but I've never been using them.
Yep, there's a lot out there. We're bombarded from all angles all the time. So, but no matter what, though, you can start limiting stuff. But as Toni says, and Dr. Morse says, it all starts with your diet, the fruit, berries, and melons.
Yeah, I think that when we already find that when we are on a high fruit way of living, that we heal so much faster, then we know that is the way to go. That there is no other way, and it doesn't matter if people say, "Oh, I feel great on meat," or "I feel great on eating onions." God, I cannot get over that. That is now a thing.
There's the gentleman that I saw say that he apparently eats an onion every day, a slice of an onion every day. He hasn't had a cold or been sick in 20 years, but then he's got like a lot of meatiness to his body, especially in the midsection. And again, it just boils down to, what do you consider health? I mean, yeah, if you're still up walking around in your 60s nowadays, I guess you're doing pretty well. Whereas we should still be running and jumping and having so much energy in our 60s. Just another lie that we've been told.
Yeah, that's that's funny, Sarah. Because chronologically, I'll be going into my 60s, and I take Tai Chi, and most of the people there are older than me, and they think I'm like some spring chicken or something. They're like, "Oh, well, when I was your age and all this," and because I'm really healthy, and I listen to them telling their stories back and forth about what this doctor told me and what that doctor and what prescription I'm on and all that. And I tell them, I go, I'm healthy. I mean, I'm going to be going into my 60s. I don't know what you people are thinking, but because they're mostly in their late 70s and everything. But I'm looking at myself thinking, you know what? When I'm in my 70s and 80s, I'm going to look the same way, just like I look right now. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm telling myself.
Well, the fountain of youth is melatonin, so just keep bringing that and keep the oil in your lamp.
And that is what will be one. So that's why I always keep saying I'm forever 38.
Yeah, I'm 28. Hey, Toni, I really enjoyed that video and the information that you sent me about looping. Thank you. That totally, that lady, Ivana, she is brilliant. Did you know the video you sent me?
Yes, of course I know the video. I'm the one who made the transcript.
Oh man, she's amazing. I subscribe to her channel.
Yeah. She is very good in explaining things. She's also very good in explaining the thinness that people have, the why your hair falls out when you're detoxing, and she goes really into details. And we are in several groups where now the looping and urine therapy is like, oh, that is the way to go. And it's like, that is what she said. It's like, I'm not gonna, bash it. I'm not gonna say you should not, or it's good or bad, but you need to know this is what it is. And if you don't have those details, you just follow somebody else who tells you, oh, you have to do it because it makes me feel good. But, there are people who are doing it, and I have read their eyes, and then they should be much healthier than they are. But it's becoming, yeah. I think I wrote you too. It's like, if we were supposed to drink our own urine, and this is just my opinion. I mean, everyone can do what they want to do. I have clients who do it. I still work with them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me, but you need to be logical. And that is what I am with everything. It's like, if we were supposed to use it again, we would have a different design in our body. I mean, it comes out of in a place out of our body that we cannot reach with our mouth. Usually people cannot reach with their mouth. I definitely cannot. And then it comes back into you, but it is an area where toxins off your body need to come out. Now, when we are on 100%, the right diet for our species, with the high fruits and some of the leafy greens, the watery leafy greens, the lettuce, then I can see that we don't have that many toxins in us. But are we there yet? No, we're not. So whatever, as in heavy metals and everything that comes out, we're going to put it right back in our body. It doesn't make sense to me. Mm-mm. And there is actually, it's been a year since I last read it, or when I worked on a transcript, because people say, yeah, a fetus grows and drinks the urine in it when they are growing, and she has a section that is actually about that, because that is not true. That is not what it is. And there are two, you have your bowel movements and you have your urine coming out, and both have toxins in it. So people say, yeah, but it is it's like distilled and it is clean, and it like, no, it's not.
It's Dr. Morse says it's your lymphatic waste.
It is.
Mm-hmm. So my only opinion.
I was wondering, do they have a feces therapy?
Yeah, they do that, and Dr. Morse talked about that for the people who have a completely messed up, bacterial system in their colon, and to find somebody who has a healthy system, and then put the feces from that person into the sick person to get a better system. It's like, God.
But I didn't. From what I know, it's called a fecal transplant. It does. Yeah. You do not digest this.
No.
It goes in through your rectum.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And the only reason why I kind of giggle when you said that, Juan, was because I can just imagine what people are like. Oh, well, I'm going to go do that now.
But that's what I was thinking. You would eat your feces.
No. There's nothing I have read thus far about that. But yeah, I've heard about the fecal transplant, but my opinion even on that is how do you know how healthy that other person is? I mean, I guess when you're in a very, very bad place, you might just go ahead and take that risk where you would accept a fecal transplant from somebody else. But as far as like the looping as well, us as a society as a whole, there's probably like maybe 1%, 0.5% of people that could benefit from this at this point, because our bodies are still very toxic. And me personally, I still feel like I'm toxic. So I would definitely not want to be taking in any of my lymphatic waste at this time. Would I do it in the future? Possibly, but I still don't know that much. And I think for the average person who's especially just starting out on this detox plan, probably is not ready for that at this point. But I don't know too much about it either.
Yeah, but why would you want to do it? If you are healthy, then what is the point?
That too. I mean, I know there's and I haven't gotten to this point in the Bible to really study that either, but like the 40 days whole thing, I don't know where that comes from of the biblical standpoint either at this point. But I mean, I agree. I don't see a need for that at this point. But also too, I mean, our saliva is healing. Everything is supposed to be within us and from us. So maybe further on down the road, more study, I might know a little bit more about it and can better talk to it. But at this point of where we are and the type of people we do talk with and communicate with daily, I think almost nobody is able to do that at this point in their on their detox path.
No, it's yeah, I hear people like my health, my skin is brighter, my hair is more shiny. If you were on the correct diet for what you need, you would have the same results because you get the toxins out of your body. And it's still like being used as a treatment. No, you don't need to change anything, just drink your urine. And it would be like a treatment, but even then, even if you are healthy, I don't see the point of it, because our mouth is where it is and the urine comes out where it comes out. It's not close. We were not born with a cup in our hands to gather it and then drink it. It makes no sense to me. It really does not.
Yeah, I'm with y'all. I'll stick with the fruit, the raw fruit and raw vegetables. I'm not going to play that game right now because I know I'm not that clean. I think if you get to that certain place, yes, we can definitely start to maybe experiment with it. But I'm with you, Toni. If that whole system is set up to get rid of waste, why would you want to put it back in? Until you get to a point, maybe you have no more waste, then I can see maybe experimenting with it. But yeah, I'll stick to my watermelons, cantaloupes, and all that good stuff, mangoes, before I'm gonna try something like that to get clean.
Yeah, and I feel it's more fulfilling, the beauty of the fruit, the color, the smell, the taste, instead of thinking, oh my gosh, I need to catch my own urine because I have to drink it. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
But again, I think I speak for everybody. This is your body, your journey, and your path. So, I mean, you are able to do whatever you feel you're called to do.
Absolutely. Even if that would mean that you have to eat meat or do whatever you need to do, as long as you know what are the effects.
Yep.
What is it doing to your body so you can make a good decision.
Yeah, we are not here to steer anyone in any way. We are just here to tell you our experiences and what, Toni has been taught and what she has studied. And I mean, even what I've read and I've studied too. I mean, we're not doctors. We are not, I don't know. I mean, just, it's your path. It's your, we're only speaking from our path.
Sarah and Toni, I was wondering if you have thought about or make New Year's resolutions.
Well, no. I don't believe the new year is coming until March. So, yeah, we just kind of, I mean, I'm always with my family. We celebrate all the holidays. But, we just, New Year's for us is March 21st. So 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I'm not big on celebrations of holidays. I think my husband just left for work and he's not going to be back until in 5 days. So and a resolution, and I make resolutions every day or plans every day about the next day, and I'm grateful for the days that I'm living in, and then this is what I'm going to do the next day. I always thought as people make all these New Year's resolutions and then they start feeling guilty that they didn't could keep with it, about the healthy eating, or why is your healthy eating starting, but is it weeks from now or days from now? Why not today? And just, with little steps, don't even try to do too much at one time.
Yep, because there's always tomorrow. So it's best to do it today because tomorrow never comes.
Exactly.
Yeah, we live in the now.
Exactly. Well, that's what I was thinking too, because this is a 2-year process now. And definitely I don't have everything down, but the changes is so dramatic from before that, it's gotta be it's gotta be better for you than what I was doing before for so many years. So it's one step by step, it's definitely a process. And like Sarah was talking about, and everybody says that each person you have to find your own rhythm with this. What is acceptable? What can you give up? What do you still need a little bit of maybe? And then gradually you give it all up, and we get to a point. I don't know. I love fruit, but I still wonder, it can't do I want to survive on just that? Or do I need a little something here and there? I don't know, like I said, playing around with it. I love fruit, but especially juicing. That's mostly I juice in my mouth. I just spit the pulp out and that, but it's that's what they call it, the satiation. You don't feel full. And that's I think that's more of a mental thing. I think with anybody, it's more of a mental thing when you're used to chewing and you're getting the more bulkier stuff. I think bananas are good for that. It really fills me up, as far as for when I need something filling, I choose a banana. But yeah, it's a process for sure. Long process.
Yeah, and you're moving in the right direction.
Lifetime process, basically.
Yeah.
At this point.
I was going to ask you, Grant, how much juice do you take in each day, like fresh juice?
Oh, not much. I eat mostly fruit, whole fruit. I don't do a lot of juicing. I just got a juicer. I did some orange juice, but like I was saying, that thing freaked my stomach out. I did some fresh orange juice, and ooh. Well, I was hurting for a couple of days, laid off this morning from the trees. There's not many, but I juice some neighbors, and my mom's been drinking, and me and her. But mostly I just eat the fresh fruit and just, naturally. I haven't really got into the juicing aspect yet. It just occasionally here and there a glass.
Well, I was going to say
full bore fruit feast, fruit juice feast.
Yeah. Well, not even do a full fruit feast, but if you're still craving that full feeling, you might be dehydrated. And that helped me as well, too. Start out small, maybe 4 ounces a day, build up to 8. till you can get up to 32 ounces. And then after 32 ounces, try to get up to 64 ounces. So like basically your breakfast and your lunch are nothing but some orange juice. And then that will help you to have that more of that full feeling because you'll be hydrated more. And then just kind of do your fruits more towards the evening and your soft leafy greens too. And that might actually help with that feeling.
That's a good thought. I'll have to try that, Sarah. I have to try it.
Because I always like that full feeling myself too. Like it's like you were addicted to that feeling. But once I started adding a lot of fresh juice into my diet, or into my lifestyle, then that's when that feeling went away, where I didn't need that feeling anymore. Matter of fact, if I feel full or of any sort anymore, I feel very uncomfortable. I do not like that feeling anymore.
Well, yeah, I didn't really mean the full feeling. It's me, the texture, the crunchy, or the bite, the chewing. That's what I miss most from that. It's not so much the feel. I don't like the full feeling. Like you went to a damn Chinese buffet and ate 3 plates of food. No. And that's but it's more the mouth, the texture, those aspects of food, which juice don't give you.
Yep.
Unless I chewing, when I juice it in my mouth, it gives me that same sensation. But the juice, it like I said, I think it's more of a mental thing because I've never juiced in my life. I drink bottles of juice, but then it's worth nothing. It's like taking a vitamin C pill, and the next day it's in your urine glass, so you can treat your feet or something, external wound.
Yep.
Yeah. But now, now we know. But yeah, eventually, yeah. Like I said, it's a process. It's a lifetime thing. I'm not looking for a quick fix. This is a set. That's the way. I'm a fine where that's a happy medium. If it is all fruit or most fruit and some vegetable, whatever it might be, whatever my body feels good on, I'll stick with that. And then if I want to go a little further, I guess we could, but that's where I'm at right now. And that's enough. I went on enough tangents. So
that's wonderful. That's the beautiful part of it being your journey. You do what you feel your body needs.
That's how you find the balance in your life too. It's great. You're doing well, Grant. I'm very happy for you. I like what Sue said. Resolutions suggest that we are broken and need to be fixed. I like that one. Never thought of it that way, but exactly. We're not broken. We don't need to be fixed.
Yeah, Toni, when I was saying like a New Year's resolution, for me, it's just a whole change of lifestyle, because I used to be, a partier and a DJ. And whenever I brought in the new year, it was generally drunk. And I can recollect, starting off the new year feeling like crap because I had this huge hangover and I was coming down. And, now it's like, hee-haw, I'm starting off the new year like feeling good the way I want to feel, and so that's kind of like the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah,
now.
but look, this is how you start every day already with your yeehaw.
Yeah, well, I'm just recollecting how it used to be, like, that's not the way to start off a new year, is like feeling like crap.
Yeah, with a hangover. And there are so many New Year's parties it's amazing. I didn't even know there were that many bars in the area here, but everybody seems to have a New Year's party with a lot of food and a lot of alcohol, of course. Okay, guys, we are again getting over the hour, so we go again next week with more things to talk about. I want to thank everyone for being here. I love you guys. Oh my gosh, next week when we have New Year's, we're not there yet. Oh, yeah, we're almost there. Sunday.
Yeah, Happy New
Yeah.
Year.
Well,
Happy New Year.
Even though it's not really the Happy New Year, it's still the Happy New Year. The
Yeah.
happy every day.
Happy fake New Year.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
right.
I always have two a year because I got American and I got Vietnam New Year. So there's two. I always had 2 New Years. Now I got 3.
Okay,
March
well, good.
21st.
Reasons to be with friends and family. Yes. Thank you all so very much. This was a wonderful podcast, and we enjoy you all so much.
Yeah, thanks everyone for being here. Enjoy
Love
the rest
you.
of your day. Enjoy everything. Enjoy everyone.
Yeah.
Too. Okay.
Happy New
Love
Year.
everyone.
Love you.
Bye,
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.